Hey everyone, this is Dave here, and today we're looking at the 4K experience with Resident Evil 7. That's right, UHD resolution at 60 frames per second. So this is something that the PS4 Pro kind of aspires to, in a sense of delivering you a 4K experience, but with Resident Evil 7 that wasn't quite the case. We got a boost in resolution to 1260p, which is only a minor upgrade over the 1080p on PS4, and depending on how your TV handles 1080p, it could look better or it might not look that different at all. So that got me thinking, what does the game actually look like at native 4K, 60 frames per second, fully maxed out? So that's what we've got here. We've dug out the Titan X Pascal, heavily overclocked it, and we're running Resident Evil with its highest quality graphics settings. The only thing I had to disable here is shadow caching, which can have a noticeable impact in performance. But otherwise, yeah, this is the true native 4K 60 experience, and it looks very good indeed. Now, Resident Evil 7 isn't an ultra sharp game. It's deliberately soft, almost filmic, but mostly it resembles that of a found footage videotape at times. And even at 4K, it's a soft presentation. The difference is it's just more refined. It's cleaner than on PS4, and you just get a generally smoother image that gives you more clarity with regards to the texture work. At the same time, the overall aesthetic remains unchanged. I was a bit concerned that maybe jumping to 4K would make the game a little bit too sharp, a little bit too clinical, but that's not the case. And as you can see here, the game retains its sort of faux VHS found footage style look and loses none of the atmosphere in the process. One of the upsides of running at 4K though is that the chromatic aberration is less intrusive than at lower resolutions, so even though it's still obviously there, it doesn't soften the picture quite as much. So I think it's a more balanced look for Resident Evil 7 at 4K. At the same time, you know, when flicking between PC gameplay, a bit of PS4 Pro, you can see that even though the Pro version is still heavily upscaled, it holds up reasonably well in darker scenes. The brighter daytime environments show up the difference in resolution really clearly, but in darker areas, it's not so clean cut. I think the most obvious detail here is that the texture detail comes across a lot better on the PC in some of these areas, on the virtue that the extra pixel count allows the engine to resolve those details present in the higher quality textures a lot better than on PS4 or PS4 Pro. So yeah, seeing it on a 4K screen really is an improvement. The extra pixel density, the extra boost in clarity kind of brings it closer to a type of film presentation rather than video, but I think it works very, very well running at UHD pixel counts. Having the chance to play the game again, I also noticed a couple of interesting sort of differences between PC and PS4 Pro. So one of the aspects we found to be upgraded on PS4 Pro to match PC was lighting, but looking at the PC version again, there are certain environments or certain areas where there seems to be a small lighting boost on the PC with regards to more intense highlights and a little bit more bloom. It doesn't happen in all areas though, so potentially the PC could see extra refinements in specific places that you don't always get on consoles. So almost like Capcom have made specific tweaks to console versions in various areas. And mentioning that actually, if you look at reflections, in most cases the PC and consoles are the same, but when indoors you actually get additional environment reflections on the PC across certain objects. Now, because it doesn't happen often, it's not always noticeable, but yeah, there are some other refinements on PC that I noticed the second time round, which aren't as clear when you're playing the game through the first time. But besides that, it's generally a very close presentation. The difference is, of course, that this 4K resolution helps to bring out the nuances in the PC game a lot more. So shadows tend to appear more refined at 4K than they did on consoles at 1080p. Again, it's only certain areas, but we see less artifacting. So as I said, it's more refinement in specific areas than across the board. But yeah, anyway, this has been the 4K 60 experience with Resident Evil 7 on PC. And if you're not looking to use VR, then it's clearly the most immersive way to play the game. I mean, 4K, 60 frames, HDR, awesome. Anyway, I think I'll leave it there for now. If you'd like to check out the original high quality source file of this video, then take a look at digitalfoundry.net and subscribe for that. As ever, don't forget to give us a like on YouTube if you enjoyed the video, and yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.